Okay, next up, we have Bilger from the School District of Philadelphia. He is going to talk about the Urban Technology Project. I love my friends at the school district. They have some of the hardest jobs in the city. Before we go into a pandemic, they had hard jobs, but then their jobs got really, really hard when they had to get, so I'm just very grateful that they're here today because there's a lot going on in the city in our K-12 education. So we're switching gears away from post-secondary now and into the K-12 space to hear more about a really little known diamond in the rough of Philadelphia K-12 tech landscape, the Urban Technology Project. So Luke and Jesse, come on up and let's hear about what's going on with the school district with technology apprenticeships. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. My name is Luke. I'm Director of Educational Technology for the School District of Philadelphia. And I'm joined with by Jesse Cunningham, who is a project manager for the Urban Technology Project. If you can go to the next slide. So the Urban Technology Project is an IT apprenticeship program, multiple programs within this organization. And it is managed by the School District of Philadelphia in collaboration with Launch of Philadelphia. And it's an initiative between the two of us where we empower the youth in Philadelphia, and not just youth. It can also be in our programs, any Philadelphian who wants to enter IT workforce later in life with the skills and expertise that are required to enter the tech field. Slide, please. And I'm going to turn it over to Jesse, who's going to talk a little bit about apprenticeship and what the model looks like in the Urban Technology Project.
Okay, so what is apprenticeship? You might have heard this term in reference to the building trades, but how does that apply to tech? Well, actually, excited to tell you that apprenticeship is becoming more prevalent in businesses, 9-to-5 jobs, such as technology positions. So apprenticeship is an industry-driven, high-quality career pathway where employers can develop and prepare future workforce, and individuals can obtain paid work experience, classroom instruction, and a portable national recognized credential. So what are the components of apprenticeship? How is it different from an internship? The four major components of an apprenticeship is related technical instruction. So that's anywhere from your soft skills on how to be professional in the workplace to the actual technical skills that you need, such as computer user support, specialist, IT support. On-the-job learning, that's the paid on-the-job learning experience. So as they're learning these things in the classroom, they're applying it in the real world on the job. Rewards for skill gains. So every time they show that they're competent in these skills, they get a raise. For our program, they get $1,000 wage increase for every certification that they earn. And lastly, credentials. So with apprenticeship, there's the Journey Worker Certificate, which is issued by the Department of Labor and recognizes the individual's competency in the chosen occupation. But along the way, especially with our program, they're earning IT certifications. So a lot of CompTIA certifications, the IT fundamentals, the A+, Net+, Security+.
Thank you. So we have two main career pathways in the Urban Technology Project. There are actually three programs, and I'll talk a little bit about that on the next slide. But the first career pathway is the computer support specialist, and this is where we prepare our apprentices for careers in IT support, help desk, break fix, those kinds of skills. Now, these folks are placed directly in the School District of Philadelphia in our schools, and they provide these services. And I know we talked a little bit about the pandemic and the amount of work it must be, but the pandemic has been a positive thing for Urban Technology Project in a way that so much technology has exploded in our schools that they needed more of this help, and they were able to take on more apprentices than we ever had before. And so these young folks, or these folks that want to become a computer support specialist, enter the program. They primarily support the School District of Philadelphia. We do have other non-school district partners who hire computer support specialists as well. And during it, they get CompTIA certifications. Currently, we work with the School District of Philadelphia, Drexel, and Visual Sound, who hire computer support specialists. The other pathway that we have, which is relatively new to the Urban Technology Program project that we're rolling out this year, is software developer. This is an apprenticeship for folks to become a junior front-end developer or back-end developer. You can look at the slide to see. I'm not the technical myself, but there's project management basics. They learn about deployment. They get their training at CCP, and we're going to be working with a company in the greater Philadelphia area who will pair up these apprentices with software developers as they learn and receive that training and certifications along the way. Next slide. So those two programs are partially fed by a pre-apprenticeship that we have. And so there really are pathways. And so we work to recruit young students who are graduates of the School District of Philadelphia in their final year who are interested in tech to sign up for our AmeriCorps Digital Service Fellow Pre-Apprenticeship. That is an AmeriCorps program where 25 high school graduates or folks aged 17 to 24 with a GED, they get a yearly stipend of $20,500, and they work directly in a classroom with a teacher in the School District of Philadelphia teaching digital literacy to students for 1 to 2 years. And during that time, they also receive training. They receive CompTIA IT fundamental certification. They get a computer. So usually around the springtime is when we recruit. It's towards the end of the school year. We work with our schools and our counselors to get the young people involved. So this is a pre-apprenticeship that gives them some experience in tech. Then once they leave that AmeriCorps Digital Service Fellow pre-apprenticeship program, they can choose to go into either the computer support specialist apprenticeship or the software developer apprenticeship after that. The computer support specialist comes with a yearly salary beginning at $23,500, but like Jesse said, as they earn certifications, their salary increases. The requirements for that is at least age 18 and over, 1 year professional experience, which for many of our young people is our pre-apprenticeship. But for people who are interested in being apprenticed that may not have that 1 year of experience or an IT certification, if they work with the Urban Technology Project, we will refer them to other community organizations that may be able to give them access to certification training for free or low cost, so that then the following year they would be eligible for the program. The software developer apprenticeship, also 18 and over, requires that 1 year of coding experience. That salary begins at $25,000 and then increases as you earn certifications. With all of this, we usually recruit in the spring. However, there are needs that will come throughout the year. And so we were constantly recruiting, talking about it, and looking at applications as they come in.
Yeah, I just wanted to note that we are still accepting applications for our cohort starting in August 2021. So all 3 programs still have a few spots that we're looking to fill. So if you are interested or know anybody.
Absolutely. As we said, the demand has increased, and so the spots have increased as well. Next slide, please. And I talked a little bit about, but Jesse's going to give a few more piece of information about the specifics, the benefits, what you get when you are a member of the program.
So as an AmeriCorps Digital Service Fellow pre-apprentice, they are working in the schools Monday through Friday. They're serving alongside of a digital literacy teacher. So they're getting that direct mentorship from an already established professional. And they're helping inspire students to get excited about STEM as well. So while they're building themselves up, they're also passing it on. So it's a really great model. Some of the benefits that our digital service fellows get is the very nice stipend that Luke mentioned. I'm not sure if you're familiar with AmeriCorps, but that is really generous for AmeriCorps. A SEPTA key, monthly SEPTA key, so they can get to our office and to their school site, healthcare benefits, an education award of $6,345, a very specific number. But that can also be used at trade schools. It can be used to pay back loans. So if you've already gone to an higher ed, personally, I am an alumni of the program, and that's what I did with my education award, is I paid back some loans. Free training and certification exams, educational loan forbearance for the entire time they're enrolled as a pre-apprentice, and support services. So we actually have a staff member on the UTP team that is dedicated to providing support with those things outside of work that might prevent someone from being as successful as they can. So housing issues or helping with food stamps, things like that.
All right, we have about 2 minutes, and these two, I talked a little bit about both of these. So I'm gonna just go over the benefits a little bit of the apprenticeship. So that was a pre-apprenticeship. The apprenticeship salary we talked about, monthly key, healthcare, a lot of that is the same. You get a device to use. You get all your training is free. Your certification exam fees are included. You also get soft skills and leadership training as well throughout this program. Next slide. Software developer, that's the same, plus the addition of college credit. When you're in the software developer apprenticeship, college credit is a portion of this because your training comes through CCP. And the next slide. Go ahead.
I did want to note for the software developer, they're also getting college credit for their on-the-job learning. So for the work that they're doing with our employer partner, they're also getting college credit for that. And as well as once you join our program, we evaluate your prior knowledge for college credit as well. So if you're coming to us with an IT certification, CCP will give you college credit for that.
Excellent, thank you for adding that. All right, so if you're interested or you know someone who's interested for this, they can apply at utp-philly.org. Also, the phone number is on the screen and an email, and you can follow us on Twitter at PhillyUTP. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm gonna have to steal one of your microphones, thanks. Oh, now I don't have to steal.
Thank
You don't
you.
have to steal a microphone.
So we have a question.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so, have a seat, have a seat. I'll be the, like, Phil Donahue, I'll have to date myself for a second. Yeah, and the 40 and older class, everyone else is like, who is she talking about? Why don't more people know about this? What is the main obstacle? How can we help more people learn about this?
I'm not sure why more people. I mean, you know, it's a program in the school district of Philadelphia. People might not often think about us when
Right,
they think of post-high school workforce development,
right.
but it's a great program. I hope everyone shares or something.
Well, is it kind of new?
No, you can hear.
How old is it? How old has it been going on? How many people have gone through this?
UTP has been in existence since 2002. We're gonna have our 20th anniversary next year.
Wow.
And we have about at least 50 people per year that go through the program. We have 89% of our alumni are still employed by tech.
That's amazing. So there's 1,000 people out there who have been through this and benefited from this. And I was quickly doing the math of the stipends, because that's my favorite thing about apprenticeship, is that you're actually paid to learn as you acquire skills that will lead to a higher salary. You're actually kind of encouraged along the way. And the baseline stipend was $394 a week.
Yes.
So this is 18 to 24-year-olds who are learning a trade that is going to lead to a good, viable career, as we all agree in this room. And they're pocketing $394 plus a septic key,
Yes.
plus some healthcare and on the job, like workplace experience in school district buildings, right?
Yeah, for many people, one of the barriers to getting the certifications is balancing having to work. And so the nice thing about apprenticeship is that you get paid a competitive salary. We wanted to make sure that, you know, we weren't competing with a McDonald's, that we could give them enough that would be, okay, I know you could be out here earning, but here's a program where you can earn and learn and get those certifications. And so that was an important part to make sure that cost was never a barrier and that your own life expenses isn't a barrier.
Right.
Being able to focus and really be in it every day.
Kudos, kudos. I think we have a question from online and a question in the room. Let's take the online and we'll come back to the room. We'll have time for you.
Two online.
Oh, back and forth. Go back and forth, yeah.
So the first one might be a quick one. Says, how many slots per year for pre-apprenticeship and how many for apprenticeships?
So it varies for our apprenticeship programs based on our employer partners and how many they're willing to host. As Luke mentioned, we had a lot this year. But every year it's 24 spots for our pre-apprentices, and it's anywhere upwards of 45 for our computer support specialists, and then our software developer is piloting this year. So we're starting with 4, but we're going to increase that in coming years.
Thank you. Okay, great. And question in the room.
What languages are you teaching software development?
That's on one of the slides exactly, but we are
Trying
trying
to come to you and.
that's
not the
no,
language.
that's for the
Yeah.
computer
A
support
plus,
specialists.
like A plus, but could you back up to the slide with the, it's a really good
It's on the
question.
career pathways slide. I just don't want to get it wrong.
Python and Java. I think
One
one
more back.
One more back. Okay, there we go.
No, one more back.
Yeah.
No,
It's one that shows both pathways. Keep going up.
there.
Oh, it was too
Yes,
small.
so it's Java, Python, C, C++, C#, Go, Rust, JavaScript, and SQL. Good.
Oh, do you have a follow-up? Go ahead.
I know you teach something from project management. Have you thought about getting the credentials? You know, when you go through a project management certification, you get 35 credits. That automatically qualifies you to be able to apply and get a PSM. So
So we've actually talked internally about project management as its own occupation. The reason that we're giving the software developers that sort of baseline knowledge, not a whole, we're not getting into the nitty gritty of project management, just so that they can be the best software developer on the team, so they're aware of the software development life cycle.
I was looking for one to Scrum that certification, because that teaches emotional intelligence within learning as well. I'm a Scrum master myself, so.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's definitely something that we can consider and work with.
Yeah, great. Miss, another question in the room. We'll get to the question in the chat in a second.
Yes, the other question is, what is the Instagram page?
The Instagram page is actually the same handle as our Twitter, so it's Billy UTP.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Philly UTP, gotta go where people are, get the infographics out there so people can share. It's perfect. And then a question from the chat.
Yeah, I'm asking about, what does the post-apprenticeship support and assistance with job placement look like?
So we really focus on preparing them before they even leave their apprenticeship for what that sort of job placement is going to look like, what it's going to look like to look for a job, how they should negotiate salary, what their resume should look like. So we're really focusing on that with them their entire time in the program, but really heavily right before they're ready to graduate. And we have several partners who give us job postings because they know the quality of our apprentices. And we pass on that information, and we find that most of our apprentices have an employment lined up before they even finish the program.
Yeah, and I mean, everything from support with resume building to even gathering and open jobs and like an internal job board that people can look at and see. To even if you need more professional attire for your interview, getting that as well. Really trying to support the process of getting that job. And I know one of the goals of UTP is to really focus hard on how we can increase our alumni outreach and support in the 6 months after, which exists currently, but there need to be structures placed around it, and providing that ongoing support once they do this.
And another, just to add, a lot of our alumni actually end up going to work for the school district after they leave their apprenticeship. So they build those relationships and then they get a job offer.
I have just one more closing question, or if we're good on questions in the room. So you mentioned the software developer pilot program. Let's pretend that there's a very wealthy angel investor listening, because you never know who's hanging around venture capital. So what would it, is it possible to just accept a check from an angel investor into this program and just scale it up? I mean, what would it, is that generally the cost, the apprenticeship, stipend and the other wraparound? I mean, could you just blow this up if you've done a big check?
Sure, money is always nice, and so we'll always accept somebody who wants to be a generous angel donor. But there also needs to be employers, and there are, and we need to continue our outreach, who understand that model, and they're willing to take somebody who is not the best and work with them side by side as they get the training and develop that person in the apprenticeship style. And so as we get more employers, it grows and increases. We've seen that in our computer support specialist apprenticeship. And we are very excited to hopefully see that in a software developer. But yes, funding often goes a long way. It can change the cost to the employer. It covers trainings. It can increase the amount of trainings and certifications that the folks in the program can get. Because a lot of what we offer our young people are based on the cost built into what the employer pays them in salary, but also in grants and other funding that we get. So the more money we have, the more we can offer to the young people and the people in general in the program.
That's great. That's truly a future work response, because in my work and the things that I've studied, I've learned that it's 100% about collaboration. If we do not effectively collaborate, we won't be resilient in this age of rising artificial intelligence. And employers should know, if any employers are in the room, that when tech employees mentor apprenticeships, they're more likely to stay in that firm and watch that person grow. So it actually is a win for the employer as well, because it helps them retain, very sought after talent in their tech shop, in their IT shops. So that's just, I really wish you the best. Thank you so much for being here. Round of applause for the presentation. Thank you so much, everyone who tuned in. We're up on time, and we have to let all of our Venture Cafe folks get to their other sessions. You should definitely try to come down in person sometime and come to our session at 6. We are having an update about the FutureWorks Alliance work, and a guest author, Laura Ian, is going to talk about this book, 2030, how the future is going to be completely different in 2030, is his keynote. And then also tune in to the next Got Tech training series. We already have one on the books, and more tech trainers, leaders in the region on September 29th, I want to say, 23rd, but we'll have that up on our website in late September. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here, everyone. Take care.